Welcome back to DogPedia. We all want to believe we are the center of our dog's universe. And we are. But psychological facts show that dogs rely on predictability to feel safe. When you leave, the panic isn't just, where did they go? It is, my daily loop is broken. Today, I'm going to show you how to use this bonding strategy to turn that panic into peace. We are going to replace their anxiety with a new, safe pattern. Overcoming the guilt of leaving. You know that look, the one they give you right as you pick up your keys. The ears go back, the tail stops wagging, and those big, soulful eyes seem to ask, "Why are you abandoning me?" It is the single worst feeling in the world for a dog owner. We carry this guilt around with us all day. We sit at our desks wondering if they are crying, if they are lonely, or if they think we're never coming back. I used to spend hours watching my pet camera, feeling my heart break every time my dog paced by the door. It feels like a betrayal of their unconditional love, doesn't it? But here's a bold claim that might just change your life. That guilt you're feeling, it is actually based on a misunderstanding. We tend to humanize our pets, assuming they process emotions exactly the way we do. We think they are heartbroken because they miss us, our specific personality, our scent, our presence. But what if I told you that their panic has less to do with love and everything to do with a broken promise? It sounds harsh, but stay with me. Understanding this distinction is the key to setting you both free. Misinterpreting your dog's distress signals. Have you ever wondered why some dogs sleep peacefully when their owners leave, while others tear apart the sofa? It's easy to assume the destructive dog just loves their owner more, right? That's a flattering thought, but it's scientifically inaccurate. When your dog starts panting, pacing, or whining the moment you put on your shoes, you're not seeing affection, you're seeing a panic attack triggered by a loss of control. Leading animal behaviorists have noted that what looks like missing someone is often a stress response to a change in the environment. It's like when the Wi-Fi suddenly cuts out while you're watching a movie. You aren't sad the internet is gone, you're frustrated and anxious because the flow of your entertainment was interrupted. Similarly, your dog isn't sitting there thinking, "I miss my human's jokes." They're thinking, "The environment has changed and I don't know what to predict what happens next." This distinction is crucial because you cannot cure a behavioral issue with sympathy, you have to cure it with psychology. But what happened next in the research on this topic will surprise you because it flips everything we know about the human-animal bond on its head. The reality of canine attachment. Let's get real for a second. We love to say our dogs are our fur babies, and in many ways they are. But treating them exactly like human children can sometimes backfire. In human psychology, secure attachment means a child feels safe to explore because they know their parent is a secure base. In dog psychology, it's surprisingly similar, but the base isn't just a person, it's a structure. A study on canine cognition revealed that dogs thrive on reliable signals. When those signals become muddy or disappear, like when you leave for work without a clear cue, the dog loses their anchor. I remember when I first realized this with my own rescue. I thought giving him extra kisses and long, sad goodbyes was helping. In reality, I was just winding him up. I was making the departure a high-stakes event instead of a boring non-event. Expert trainers often say that the most well-adjusted dogs are the ones who know exactly what to expect from their day, regardless of who's in the room. This brings us to a fundamental truth that might sting a little at first, but is incredibly liberating once you accept it. Bonding to predictability, not just to you. Here's the core psychological fact that changes the game. Dogs bond to predictability, not just to you. I know, it sounds unromantic. You want to believe your dog loves you, and they do. But their sense of safety, which is the foundation of that love, is rooted in routine. Your dog misses routine, not you. When the routine stays the same, their cortisol levels stay low. When you leave, the you loop in their brain breaks, and if there isn't a solo loop to replace it, they fall into a void of anxiety. Think about it like this. If you took a different route to work every single day and never knew how long the commute would take, you would be a nervous wreck. That's your dog's life without a predictable structure. They are biologically hardwired to seek patterns because patterns equal survival. So when we say a dog has separation anxiety, what we're actually describing is a dog who is mourning the loss of their predictable environment. The twist here is that we can actually use this biological need to our advantage. But first, you have to be able to spot the several signs that your dog is suffering from a routine deficiency. So how do you know if your dog is actually suffering from this specific type of anxiety? It's not always as obvious as coming home to a destroyed pillow. Sometimes routine deficiency looks like Velcro dog behavior. Does your dog follow you from room to room, unable to settle unless you're within sight? That's not just loyalty, that's a dog who is monitoring you to predict your next move because they lack their own independent routine. Another sign is hypervigilance, reacting to every sound outside or staring out the window for hours. They're desperately looking for the next cue because their internal schedule is blank. It's exhausting just thinking about living like that. When I realized my dog wasn't just needy, but was actually unemployed and lacking a schedule, everything clicked. If they don't know when they're eating, sleeping, or playing, they have to watch you 24/7 to figure it out. That's a heavy mental load for a pup. But here's the part they don't tell you in standard training manuals. You can fix this without spending thousands on a behaviorist, and it starts with doing something that feels completely counterintuitive. Replacing anxiety with pattern safety. The secret to curing this heartbreak is to stop trying to comfort the anxiety and start building a safety pattern. We need to replace the chaos of leaving with the safety of solitude. This means creating a new loop in their brain where your absence triggers a different positive routine. It sounds simple, but it's hard to do because it requires you to be a little cold. No more sad goodbyes, no more "I'll be back soon, mommy loves you." That's human talk. To a dog, that's just a signal that something big and scary is happening. Instead, we want to create a predictability protocol. This is where we leverage that emotional punch of them missing us and soften it with a bonding strategy based on structure. You're going to create a sequence of events that happens every time you leave, so the dog predicts the activity, not the loneliness. It's like muscle memory for their emotions. The goal is to shift their brain from "she's leaving" to "oh, it's 9 a.m., time for my puzzle toy." But wait until you see the specific strategy that experts swear by. It's almost like magic. The predictability bonding strategy. Okay, let's get tactical. Here's the strategy you can start today. It's called the departure cue replacement. Right now, your keys jingle is a cue for panic. We need to change that. Start by doing your departure routine. Put on shoes, grab keys, and then sit down and watch TV. Do this 10 times a day. Your dog will look at you like you're crazy, but you're teaching them that these cues don't always mean the end of the world. Next, establish a solo ritual. 5 minutes before you actually leave, give them a high-value item like a frozen Kong or a long-lasting chew that they only get when you're gone. This taps into the core fact that they bond to predictability. Now, the pattern is keys equals delicious treat plus nap time. You're essentially hacking their brain to look forward to your departure because it predicts a reward. I tried this with a foster dog who would scream the house down when I left. Within 3 days of strict, predictable cues, he didn't even lift his head when I walked out the door. It was incredible. And the best part? It leads to a profound shift in their personality. Achieving lasting emotional independence. When you commit to this, you aren't just stopping the barking, you're giving your dog the gift of confidence. A dog that knows what to expect is a confident dog. There is nothing more satisfying than coming home to a sleepy, relaxed dog who greets you with a happy wag instead of a frantic, drooling panic. You realize that by focusing on routine, you didn't diminish their love for you. You purified it. You took away the desperation and left only the affection. Remember, your dog misses routine, not you, and that's actually a good thing. It means you have the power to fix it. By becoming the architect of their day, you become the source of their safety in a way that hugs and kisses never could. So take a deep breath, stop feeling guilty, and start building that routine. Your dog might just thank you with a nap. And honestly, isn't that the peace of mind we all want?
Your dog loves you, but they need routine to survive. By fixing their schedule, you aren't loving them less, you are loving them better. Remember, applying just one insight from today's video on routine anxiety could make a real difference. Let me know what you'd love to learn next. Please like, rate, and share this video to save a puppy's sanity. Subscribe to DogPedia for more honest truths.